What if everything you see in Bridgerton is not as real as it looks? The shining balls, the perfect dresses, the calm smiles, all of it might be hiding stress, pressure, and secrets you never notice on screen. Behind every soft glance and every romantic moment, there is a world filled with long hours, tight costumes, and choices that change the story in ways fans never see. And in season 4, that hidden world becomes even bigger. Because what happens behind the camera is just as dramatic as what happens in front of it. Bridgerton may look like a peaceful world of love, music, and high society. But the truth behind it is very different. Every scene you see is carefully built step by step, like a big illusion made to pull you into another time. The bright halls, the rich colors, and the perfect dances are not just natural moments. They are created after many hours of planning, rehearsing, and fixing small details that most viewers never think about before a single camera starts rolling. The actors already know they are stepping into a world that demands full focus. Every movement matters. The way they walk, the way they sit, even the way they look at someone has to feel like it belongs to that time period. Nothing is random. Even a small smile is thought about again and again until it feels right for the scene behind the scenes. The energy is very different from what we see on screen. There are crews moving quickly, adjusting lights, fixing costumes, and making sure every corner of the set looks perfect. A single scene can take many hours just to get a few minutes of final footage, sometimes the same moment is filmed again and again until the emotion feels real enough to believe. The actors also live through a very different experience than their characters. While the story shows comfort and elegance, the reality often includes long waiting hours, heavy costumes, and repeating the same emotional scenes many times. Yet they still have to stay in character, keeping the same mood and energy as if everything is happening for the first time. This is the hidden truth of Bridgerton. What feels smooth and effortless on screen is actually built from hard work, patience, and attention to every small detail. And as season 4 begins to take shape, this hidden world becomes even more important because the story is growing deeper, and so is everything happening behind it. Something begins to change in season 4 of Bridgerton, and it is not just the story on screen. The entire feeling of the world starts to shift in a quiet but powerful way. The town, once seen as a place of polished smiles and perfect manners, now feels like it is carrying more weight behind every glance and every conversation. There is a sense that people are no longer just hiding secrets for fun, but protecting truths that could change everything. This season does not feel like a simple love story anymore. It feels more personal, more intense, and more emotional in ways that are harder to hide. The characters are no longer just trying to find love, they are also trying to protect their image, their families, and their place in a world where one mistake can destroy everything. Every choice feels more dangerous, and every relationship feels like it has higher stakes than before. Behind the camera, this shift also changes how scenes are created. The direction becomes more focused on emotion rather than just beauty. Small silences matter more. A simple look between two characters carries more meaning than long dialogue. The storytelling leans into tension, making even quiet moments feel heavy with unspoken thoughts. It is no longer just about grand romance. It is about what is being held back under the surface. The production team also pushes for a more grounded feeling in certain scenes. Even though the world still looks rich and elegant, there is a stronger focus on realism and emotions. Actors are guided to slow down their performances, to let feelings build naturally instead of rushing them. This makes each scene feel more real, as if the audience is watching something that could fall apart at any second. Season 4 quietly builds a different kind of energy. It still has the beauty and charm fans expect, but underneath it, there is pressure, conflict, and emotional depth that feels heavier than before. The sun is still shining on the outside, but inside it is becoming more fragile. And that balance between perfection and pressure is what makes this new season feel so different from everything that Ka. Me before it, asterisk every season of Bridgerton, makes you believe you know whose love story you are following. But season 4 plays a different game. It does not just focus on one simple romance. Instead, it slowly makes you question who is really driving the story forward and who is being changed by it in ways they never expected. At first, everything feels familiar to people are pulled together by faith, by society, and by emotions they cannot fully control. But as the season builds, the focus starts to expand. The story is no longer only about romance, it becomes about identity, pressure, and the fear of choosing the wrong path in a world where reputation is everything. Love is still there, but it is no longer the only force shaping decisions. What makes season 4 different is how it treats its characters like they are all connected by invisible threads. One person's choice quietly affects someone else's future. A single decision at a dinner table can shift the direction of an entire relationship. Nothing exists in isolation anymore. Even background characters begin to feel important, as if their presence is quietly shaping the main story without them even realizing it. Behind the scenes, this shift in storytelling also changes how the script is built. Writers are no longer thinking in straight lines. Instead of focusing on just one couple, they are building emotional layers across multiple characters at the same time. Scenes are designed to overlap in meaning, so that what looks like a simple moment on the surface actually carries deeper emotional weight when viewed in context. This approach also creates more tension in performance. Actors are not only reacting to the person in front of them, but also to events that are happening around their character's world. A smile might hide fear. A calm voice might carry pressure. Even silence becomes a form of storytelling. Nothing is added without purpose, and nothing is shown without meaning. As a result, Season 4 starts to feel less like a single love story and more like a web of emotional consequences. Every character is both the center of their own story and a piece of someone else's journey. And that is what makes this season feel more complex, more unpredictable, and more emotionally layered than anything that came before it. When you look at Bridgerton, the first thing that pulls you in is the beauty, the shining dresses, the perfect hair, the rich colors that fill every scene like a painting. But behind all of that beauty is a very real struggle that never appears on screen. Every outfit is not just designed to look good. It is built to tell a story, and sometimes that story comes with discomfort, pressure, and long hours of adjustment. Each costume is made with extreme detail. Nothing is simple or quick. Layers are added one by one, sometimes taking a long time just to dress a single character. Corsets are tightened to shape the body into the style of the era, but they also make breathing and movement harder. Actors often have to stay still for long periods while being dressed, and even small movements during filming must be carefully controlled so the costume does not lose its shape. But even with these challenges, the costumes play a powerful role. In storytelling, every color choice has meaning. Soft tones can show innocence or emotional calm, while darker shades can hint at conflict, sadness, or hidden thoughts. Sometimes a character's outfit quietly changes as their story changes, showing their emotional journey without a single word being spoken. Behind the scenes, costume teams work like silent storytellers. They are constantly fixing, adjusting, and redesigning pieces between takes. A dress might look flawless on camera, but just moments before, it may have been pinned, stretched, or adjusted dozens of times, even during filming breaks. Actors often cannot fully relax because quick changes or repairs are always happening around them. There is also a constant balance between historical accuracy and visual beauty. The team wants everything to feel real to the time period, but also appealing to modern viewers. This means every fabric, pattern, and accessory is carefully chosen to fit both history and storytelling style. Nothing is accidental. Even the smallest detail in the background can carry meaning about status, personality, or emotion in the end. The costumes in Bridgerton are not just clothing, they are part of the story itself. They shape how characters are seen, how they feel, and even how they behave. What looks effortless and graceful on screen is actually the result of patience, precision, and endless behind-the-scenes effort that the audience never sees. The world of Bridgerton looks like it was taken straight from history, but the truth is very different. What appears as real palaces, long streets, and grand ballrooms is actually a carefully built illusion. Every location is designed to make you forget you are watching a set. The goal is simple: to make the audience believe this world truly exists. Even if every wall, window, and hallway was built just for the camera, most of the places you see are not real historical locations in the way they appear on screen. They are a mix of real buildings, studio sets, and digital effects blended together so smoothly that you cannot tell where one ends and the other begins. A single ballroom scene may be filmed in pieces, with actors walking through different sections that are later combined into one perfect space. What looks like one grand location is often many small parts stitched together. The attention to detail in set design is extreme. Every table, candle, painting, and piece of furniture is placed with purpose. Nothing is random. Even objects that appear in the background are chosen carefully to match the status and personality of two people in the scene. A room belonging to a powerful family will feel heavy, rich, and controlled, while a younger character's space may feel lighter, simpler, and more open. Behind the scenes, the crew is constantly working to maintain this illusion. Between takes, objects are moved, lights are adjusted, and entire sections of the set are reset to match continuity. A scene that feels like a smooth conversation on screen may actually take hours of stopping and restarting just to keep everything perfectly aligned. Even a small mistake in background placement can break the entire feeling of the world, so everything is checked again and again. What makes the set design even more impressive is how it supports the emotion of the story. The environment is not just a backdrop, it reacts to the characters. Tight, closed spaces can make a scene feel more intense, while wide, open rooms can make moments feel distant or formal. The world itself becomes part of the storytelling, quietly influencing how each scene feels without saying a word. In the end, Bridgerton's world is not just built to be seen. It is built to be believed. And that belief only works because of the hidden effort behind every wall, every object, and every carefully designed space that brings the ton to life. Asterisk on screen. The characters in Bridgerton live in a world of perfect manners, controlled emotions, and carefully spoken words. But behind the camera, the actors live a completely different reality. They are not just playing roles. They are constantly switching between two lives. One that belongs to the story and one that belongs to real life, and that switch happens over and over again during long filming days. An actor might be laughing with the crew one moment, and then seconds later step into a scene filled with heartbreak or tension. There is no slow transition. They have to enter the emotion instantly, hold it, and then leave it just as quickly when the director calls cut. This constant emotional change is one of the hardest parts of filming a drama like Bridgerton, where feelings are always intense and deeply layered. Chemistry between characters is also not something that simply appears on its own. It is built slowly through rehearsal, repetition, and trust. Actors spend time learning how to move with each other, how to react naturally, and how to make even small moments feel real. A simple look or pause often takes multiple takes to get right because it needs to feel effortless even though it is carefully shaped. Off camera, there is also a strong focus on preparation. Actors study scripts deeply, not just memorizing lines but understanding emotional shifts in every scene. They think about what their character is hiding, what they are afraid of, and what they truly want but cannot say. This helps them deliver performances that feel alive, even in quiet moments where nothing obvious is happening. There is also a hidden emotional weight that comes with long shooting schedules, Playing the same character for months means carrying their emotions for a long time. Sometimes actors have to stay in difficult emotional states for hours, repeating intense scenes until every detail feels right. Then they step out of it and return to their normal selves, even though a part of that emotion often stays with them for a while. This constant balance between character and reality is what makes the performances in Bridgerton feel so real. What the audience sees as effortless elegance is actually the result of focus, discipline, and emotional control behind the scenes. Every scene is not just acted, it is lived, broken down, and rebuilt again until it feels completely natural too. The world of the ton dot at the end of it all, Bridgerton is not just a story about love, society, or romance. It is a carefully built illusion that feels more real than reality itself. What we see on screen is only the final layer of something much bigger. Something shaped by hundreds of people working behind the scenes to create a world that feels alive, emotional, and impossible to look away from. The ton looks perfect from a distance. The manners, the dresses, the music, the grand halls all give the feeling of control and beauty. But the truth hidden behind it is very different. That perfect world is built on pressure, long hours, constant adjustments, and endless effort to make every single frame feel right. Nothing is as effortless as it appears. Every moment is earned through repetition and patience, and yet, this is exactly why Bridgerton works so well. Because the audience is not just watching a story, they are stepping into a feeling of desire, tension, heartbreak, and hope, all wrapped inside a world that looks flawless on the surface, but is always close to breaking underneath. That contrast is what makes every season so addictive to watch. Season 4 continues this idea in a deeper way. It does not just show romance, it shows the weight behind romance. It shows how every choice has a cost, how every smile may hide something unspoken, and how every character is trying to survive in a world that demands perfection even when life is anything but perfect. And maybe that is the real secret of Bridgerton. It is not just about who ends up with whom, it is about the illusion of control in a world where everything is carefully staged, yet still filled with real human emotion breaking through the surface. The beauty pulls you in, but the truth behind it is what keeps you watching. In the end, the ton is not just a world of elegance, it is a mirror of struggle hidden under silk and gold. And that balance between illusion and reality is what makes Bridgerton unforgettable. Season after season,